see, we followed up after the summer was over. We used to meet at Del Tech.
Okay.
And have study sessions at Del Tech downtown.
Nice.
And one of the other things that we all experienced, you know what it did? It trained us and gave us social skills as well.
Sure
you know, I know that a lot of people gravitate towards fraternities in college and things. Well, each one of our groups was headed by a counselor who was a part of a certain fraternity.
Yes.
Now, it just so happened that our group leader was Omega Psi Phi.
Is that right?
And, yeah, and he had us to actually put together a step show, and each one was represented. You know, you had Kappa represented.
Is that
Yeah, they had their red and white and was stepping in canes, and then we had Omega Psi Phi with the purple and gold, and it was fun, man. And you know, it taught us how to interact with each other,
right,
and work together.
Yes, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you imagine,
right,
all the students that are successful now? It's a lot of success stories.
Absolutely.
You know, that went through Upward Bound to get together at the University of Delaware on July 4th, and we can catch up. We can also set up committees where we can begin a scholarship fund.
Yeah.
And this is not going to be just a one-time thing. This would become an annual.
And that's what we need. We need something that's not just a one-time thing. We need something that is legacy bound.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's why I love, like I said, you have a great concept, Upward Bound Beyond. You need something that's going to become a part of a standing system.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Integrated, integral, so that it can be utilized, expanded, and continue, because we don't want to see it go away.
No, not at all. And then a lot of kids, they're not getting the opportunity. And there's a lot of crime.
Yes.
Now.
No doubt.
Now, you take away programs, what happens? There's more crime because the kids have nothing to do.
Exactly.
I was a firm believer, and I'm not going to go far off the Upward Bound, but I grew up in a boys club as well, and it was Jackson Street Boys Club. And during those times, I was able to go to a boys club.
Yep.
And with it being just a boys club was awesome.
Yeah.
When it became a boys and girls club, and I understand financial problems have existed, that's why it became a boys and girls club. But when it was just a boys club, we were able to learn how to be men. When and I'm not being biased or anything, but when they started the Boys and Girls Club, it took the focus off of how to grow from a boy to a man.
Right.
It put the focus on different sexes and sex.
Right.
As opposed to growing up to be a man. And I think that's one of the problems that's happened. Because of that, that's one of the problems that exists now in the community.
Yeah.
Upward Bound, you had both male and female. However, you didn't stay in the same dorm.
You did
that
not.
was a no-no.
That
That didn't happen at all.
Yeah, you did not.
But you did learn a lot about people from upstate, downstate, different parts of the region, because I believe now Upward Bound is regional.
Right.
It's not just in Delaware. It's not just Del Tech. In fact, where I went to college, Norfolk State University, they have an Upward Bound program as well.
Yeah.
So this is big. This is big, and it's definitely big for our students, our kids.
Yeah, it's a model. It's a model that has survived.
Yes.
And thrived, and you know, economic difficulties. It doesn't always mean that quality programs should automatically be cut. Now, the funding from a governmental standpoint may be reduced or eliminated.
Yeah.
But when you have those who have grown in their profession, have prospered,
yes,
there is an obligation, I believe, to give back.
It is.
You know, and in biblical terms, you know, you talk about paying tithes and time, talent, and treasure. You know, the same thing can be applied in this capacity. You may not have the money, but do you have time? You know, you may not have time or money, but you have a certain talent.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes, I do.
So I think that all of us can do something, you know, and this is a great start, I think, coming out, getting the word out. We've talked, and you've done some legwork.
Yes, our youth, I mean, they have no idea. The youth that are on Upward Bound. In fact, I believe they start June 16th. They'll be on campus. So it's an awesome idea to go down there and talk to these kids.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to share our stories as they will be able to share their stories.
Right.
Byron Bullock, he was our assistant director. Very good man. He's in Africa now, and he said, I spoke with him last week, and he's going to be up in June, but he said he'd be here the second week in July.
Okay.
And he said he has no problem being a keynote speaker or a guest speaker to honor Bill Morris.
All right.
So, and we want to get some of the guys from the 60s, because I understand that Upward Bound, we're not the first. It started way before my class. It started in the 60s. So some of the gentlemen that are out there, if you hear me, if you're watching television right now, or Channel 28, or just if you can find it in your heart to become a part of this, I think that would be an awesome idea, because it's going to take a community. It's going to take all of us to keep this program running.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome start.
That's a part of the village. When I was there, we had Mr. Moloch. You remember Mr. Moloch?
Bullock.
No, it was a Moloch.
Moloch too?
Yeah. It was yes.
Yeah, okay. It was a Moloch.
Yeah, Moloch. And he was real tall, had afro.
Is that right?
Yeah. And see, you know, I'm proud of my time down there, because I was runner-up for Mr. Upward Bound.
Okay.
And let me also tell you a thing. You mentioned English. What subject?
ELA, English, yes.
All right,
I
now
can take that credit.
Okay, now I was having trouble in math. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went down there. I won a trophy for having the highest average in trigonometry.
Nice.
That's how much I benefited from that program.
See, and it's also, you know, it's a success story.
Yeah.
And it's always about being positive, because you know, everybody is successful that comes through that program, or on the road to become successful. And being successful doesn't necessarily mean financially.
Yeah.
You can have one level of success at a time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So any level of success is awesome.
That's right.
Especially in our community.
Right.
You
know, Steve, I'm so glad that you said that, what you just now said, because you know, people tend to have a narrow view of what is a measure of success.
Right.
And folks concentrate more on being known as than known for.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So known as is a public face, but known for is going to reflect the work that you've done.
Outstanding.
You know, so that's something that you just inspired in me, hearing you say that.
Yes.
Because many people stay on the sidelines because they are intimidated and think that they're not worthy.
Right.
But in this day and age, when there's so much at stake, we need everybody.
Yes.
You know,
and to share their stories,
and to share
or
their
their testimonies,
right.
Because who gets the glory? God gets the glory anyway.
That's right. That's
you know, whatever we do, it's for God.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I'm at anyway with my growth.
Yeah.
But this is a dynamic program. It's a dynamic start, and I just hope that people are out there that came through Upward Bound. I know you. If you were in Upward Bound, you're listening. You're getting that itch, like, oh, I'm with it. I know you are. You have to be. And if you're not, I understand.